It's the Carter son. Carter son. Turn me up a little.
And we're back, folks. Another episode of the Thinking Movement, joined by my co-host, Robbie the Bomb Agarwal. So, we got a very important topic today, very neat, something that applies to everyone in the whole world.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal in life. So, by this, we wanted to kind of break it into 2 points. Financial stability, also happiness. So, how to find that middle, how to find that balance where you're happy and you're financially stable. So, how would you talk about this topic?
Great. To be honest, that's what I believe in is anybody in this world, no matter what country you live in, no matter what occupation you have, if not for real, subconsciously, there's the 2 goals.
Yeah.
And that is to be happy, because you need to be happy, and to be financially stable, because you need to be financially stable.
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't believe that, these are my goals, subconsciously, this is what they're fighting for, and this is what they're working towards.
Yeah.
Both are very big. Now, both need to happen at the same time because one kind of can't happen without the other to be fully successful, in my opinion. So we see here people who need to be happy in their job. You need to be happy in your job.
Yeah.
But then you also need to be financially stable because one doesn't happen without the other. Where, let's just say we were talking before, you're happy, you're an artist, right? But a lot of times in media and artist jobs, there's no money.
You're
You're working for free for a long time, very competitive,
Yeah.
right? So you're not financially stable. And then we go the opposite way. Yes, you can be financially stable, such as a great job, but if you try to go to that job and you hate your life, is it worth it?
Yeah, I actually saw a neat stat. So in 2019, the most suicides were actually dentists.
Really? So far?
Yeah, so far, obviously dentists, it's not like dentists are making a low amount of money. This is one of the top paying jobs, dentist, doctor, it's right up there with the other higher paying jobs. And that just goes to show you that maybe the money, it shows you that money isn't everything by any means.
And we know it's not
all.
everything.
Not at all, but that's why I want to ask you this question. So say you're trying to follow your passion. Say if you really love to do something, when do you know that it's time to maybe give up? Maybe I was an aspiring artist or I was an aspiring singer, but when do I know it comes to a time where I got to get a secure job?
Because you're not financially stable doing that.
Yeah, I'm following my passion, I'm happy doing what I'm doing, but you can only be happy for so long, and then you got your kids to pay for, you got food to put on the table,
bills, and you're not paying rent, and
so
maybe you got kicked out. Or
so you're following your passion, but at the same time, you need money to be happy in life as well. So there is that balance
to support yourself.
Support that self. So what would you say would be the kind of the limit? Kind of call it quits, in other words.
Well, it's got to be up to you. If you truly believe you can do this and you can make it big, then you kind of got to suck it up. You got to do what you got to do, and keep fighting for it. If there's other people to put first, if you have kids to put first, or a house, or something else, or a sick parent you have to take care of, I mean that's your call. I think personally, it's a chance to take, and I mean it's a 1 in a million chance. So you can fight for it. You can make the extra commitments to keep going, but at the end, you got to look at your scenario, look at your situation, who's relying on you. I mean, if it comes to your kids or you following your dream, then you shouldn't have kids.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have.
I think you gotta keep the talent aspect in mind too, because you can't be chasing a goal that you're just not good enough at too.
Right.
You kind of goes back to what we always talk about, self-awareness. You gotta know if you're good enough for it, and you can't be following something that you don't have talent in.
Right. A lot of self-awareness. Is it probable?
Yeah.
If you're trying to be the next pop star singer right now, I mean, do you sing? Do you release content every week? Do you perform at small shows?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's probable to keep going step by step by step. If you have that dream and you don't put yourself out there right now and you're not creating content, maybe not that probable.
Exactly. It's neat too, because anyone could be happy based on their lifestyle. So you could be happy making your $40,000 a year, or making your $30,000 a year even, but it's about how you spend it. It's about how you spend it. Maybe you could be happy, but you can't be going on 3 vacations a year. You can't be having buying a fucking Mercedes or a BMW. So it also goes to show what you buy and what you spend your money on too. You could follow your passion. You could be happy.
And that's fine. You can absolutely make $40,000 a year and then do whatever.
You obviously can't go do anything extreme. You can't go on this many vacations or whatnot. But if you're living frugally, you could successfully be happy following your passion, I think.
And I believe happiness has to come from within. You can't be comparing yourself to other things. Because you know what? Majority of the time, they're just better actors.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
When you compare yourself, that's when you can't be happy. You have to let all that go, judgment free, not care what anybody else thinks, fully detach yourself from that perspective, and just focus on yourself.
And also, I don't know about you, but I see unhappy people with money all the time. I always see that one person driving that fucking Mercedes who just looks like the biggest, most unhappy person ever. So it shows you how like money's not everything really at all. Like money's not anything. Money's nothing. If you think about it, because without family, without like having good relationships in your life, like yeah, you're making money, but it's all about that balance. That's why the balance is very important.
And they say, what good is all your belongings, possessions, money, all the money in the world, if you have no one to share it with?
Exactly, which is like very, very true. Even me at a young age, like I've already noticed that money is nothing. Money's not anything without those important relationships in your life. But yeah, being happy is. I don't know. What would you rather choose? To be very successful, to have the most money in the world, or to be happy but no money?
Well, then you gotta be very happy. Because if you're very happy, then it's regardless what you have.
Exactly.
If I'm very happy, then it doesn't matter because I'm very happy. So, I mean, then obviously that comes with like, what do you mean by very happy in terms of like you're living on the street, you're very happy? It's not probable.
Yeah.
But if I'm happy in a probable situation, then I would rather choose that.
Yeah.
Because you can't dread waking up and doing spending 8 hours of the next day hating your life or going into work or being around people you hate. You can't do it. It will literally ruin you.
You're literally spending 80%, like literally probably like 75-80% of your life at work. Like think about it, Monday to Friday, like 9 to 5, like typical like office hours or whatever. But like that's literally
right.
That's
so
all your life.
You need a good job that you love and people you love to work with, and it's about mindset and perspective and what you want to do. And I mean, we can go on forever about this, but I think to close up my point is I personally believe, and I believe that this is the goal for everybody. Is to have the balance of being happy and financially stable, because one cannot exist without the other. If you're trying to make it
goes hand in hand. I wanted to this is like my closing point. I wanted to say that like don't get fancy if you're trying to accomplish something big. Like if you are choosing to follow your passion, like we said, if you are an aspiring artist or if you are an aspiring singer, whatever the case may be, you may have to pick up that one extra side job. You may have to do your singing 6 hours a day, and then those other 8 hours of the day, you might have to go work at McDonald's, right? You have to have that balance. You got to fit everything in. So I would say that anyone could accomplish it with enough work, and you gotta live frugally, and you can't get fancy. You can't be buying shit you can't afford.
Right.
Everything has to be just the shittiest situation possible. You gotta be living in those fucking little apartments, sharing with fucking 5 other people if you have to.
If that's what goes like
exactly. If that's a part of your plan. If that's a part of your plan. If you don't have big ambitions like that, then whatever. But I just need someone who really wants to follow their passion and really wants to accomplish something big. Like you do have to take those sacrifices. Like you will have to pick up those side jobs.
Right. And you're underdog for a little bit.
Underdog for.
And I think what complements balance is there's no balance without self-discipline. And that could be a whole other topic itself, but
I agree with that.
It was pretty well for today. I think that's a good point. I mean, again, if you don't think it, you subconsciously think it, and just be more self-aware for people to understand. Wow, it is about happiness, and it is obviously about being able to provide for myself and my family. Even when like you were like a younger kid too, like that was always like what you were looking for when you're older. Like like when I'm older, I want to be married in a happy relationship, like making good like decent money, not being poor. When you're a kid, everyone thinks they're gonna be rich. Everyone wants to be
rich. So like I feel like that's just like you said, it's very subconscious. So like now that I think of what I did, looking back when I was a kid, I was always just like I just want to be a happy person with like decent money when I'm older.
All right.
I think that basically closes it up for it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Thinking Movement, and